Welcome to Winging It. We're doing deck upgrades today in Arkham Horror the card game. This is Amanda and Stella going into Return to the Secret Name. Now, you may notice that I have 6 XP to spend here when, if you watched the video of Return to at Death's Doorstep, I actually earned 7 XP. That's because of the way that I recorded. I recorded both of the scenarios back to back. I realized when editing at Death's Doorstep that I had made a pretty big error. Normally I just annotate errors and move on, but this case it would have really, I think, been detrimental to the enjoyment of the video. So I went ahead and re-recorded it, and I managed to get the mist, that playthrough that I hadn't gotten in the first playthrough. So I have 7 XP to spend. So I'm just banking it. I will end up using that XP after this scenario. We're going to go ahead and not re-record Return to the Secret Name. All right, so we have the 6 XP to spend. I'm going to continue to get my basic plan in place for this deck, and that means getting Miskatonic Archaeology funding. It's a secret card. It's 4 XP. It's a permanent, and it's a lot like Charisma, except that you can only take one of them, and it gives you 2 additional ally slots, which can only be used to hold Miskatonic assets. That would be our 2 lab assistants. Forced, when you take damage or horror, no more than one of that damage or horror can be assigned to a Miskatonic asset. So a little bit of balancing since you're going to have an army of Soak out there. And this does mean 1 horror damage across all of your Miskatonic assets. Now, Michael Lee is not Miskatonic traded, so his big 3 health, 3 sanity Soak works just great, and we don't need to worry too much about needing Soak, but it doesn't mean we can just keep playing lab assistants till the cows come home, which is great. Since we have 2 XP left to spend, since we are going into the Secret Name, which has the rodents of unusual size in them, I wanted to make sure that I upgrade her fight capability. And honestly, I think Vicious Blow is an early upgrade for her anyway. So we're taking out the level 0, we're upgrading it to the level 2. Gives you an extra combat icon, which makes it a lot easier to put under her. And it deals +1 damage, or it actually deals +2 damage if it's successful by 2 or more, just like the upgraded deduction would. This is really strong. If she succeeds by 2 or more, she could actually do 4 damage along with Michael Lee without having a weapon out, and that's really, really, really good. So this gives her a better fighting capability. I think she needs it if she's playing flex, and especially going into a scenario like Return to the Secret Name, where there's some big enemies. All right, with Stella, I also wanted to look at her fighting capability. The Derringer, which costs 3 and only has 2 ammo, upgrades into a much nicer Derringer with 3 ammo and only cost of 2. It also has this ability where if you fail, the next time you trigger this ability on a round, you get an additional +1 combat for that attack. So obviously it's very good. Still gives you the same +2 combat boost. But if you're up against a particularly tough enemy, then you can use that +1 after you fail. And of course, Stella doesn't mind failing too much. So I took that out. I also took out my meat cleaver and replaced it with an oops, which is another kind of fighting option, or makes her fighting option better. And this is fast after you fail a skill test by 3 or less while attacking an enemy. Then you can deal that attack's damage to any enemy at your location. That includes the enemy that you just failed the attack against. If the attacked enemy is engaged with another investigator, this attack deals no damage to that investigator. So you don't have to worry about taking a shot, and accidentally hitting Amanda. Really good card. Note that if you fail, you can still play Live and Learn and even get the damage from the original test if you can succeed the test after that. So this is much, much better than the level 0 version of Oops. All right, so that is Stella and Amanda. Let's go play Return to the Secret Name.